Howdy folks, and welcome back to the channel where we ask the question, are there ancient civilizations more advanced than we're led to believe? So today we're going to be talking about the Dogon Tribe. The Dogon Tribe is a tribe in Mali, West Africa. There's evidence that they've been around since around 3200 BC. But these guys aren't your normal African tribe just in the middle of Africa. These guys actually have like a lot of like really interesting stuff going on with them here. While many other tribes in West Africa believe that the earth is flat, but these folks do in fact have an understanding that the earth is round and hollow. They also had a perfectly accurate understanding on matter, atoms, quarks, and even string theory, and believed that knew that the universe is split in pairs. They also discovered the circulation of blood within the body long before William Harvey did in the mid-18th century. They also have evidence that they knew about that the Earth and other planets revolved around the sun long before Galileo had discovered that. And in the early 20s, they spoke about a second star that orbited Sirius A that was invisible to the naked eye. And guess what? In 1970, they discovered that there is in fact a star also orbiting Sirius A, which they called Sirius B. And this is just the stuff that they want us to know. The high priest Hogan of Aru is chief of Dogon Knowledge, which he basically controls all the knowledge that they hold and all the stuff, and decide who's unworthy and who's not unworthy of knowing the knowledge that they hold. So who knows what else they may know? They probably know like the origins of humanity, or like how the universe was created and stuff like that. That means that this primitive tribe has knowledge that not even we can like ever hope to get. But the real crazy stuff is what they know to be the true origins of humanity. Now, according to them, about 1 million years ago, an advanced civilization lived and thrived on the planet Mars. But later it was like struck by a devastating event, which was like a meteor or an asteroid or something like that. Which there is proof that millions of years ago there was in fact some kind of asteroid impact that had completely changed our Mars' atmosphere. And even back then, Mars was in the habitable zone, in the right distance from the sun, since back then the sun was much hotter, meaning that it was in a habitable zone where life could have formed and could have been water, and then it was eventually struck by the asteroid and shifted its atmosphere. And so the civilization, they needed to like find like home on some other planet. They needed to go on another planet and find home there. And so they decided to come here to Earth, but here on Earth, since they on their planet they needed to breathe like hydrogen and nitrogen and stuff. Earth didn't really have much of that in their atmosphere, so they genetically engineered their offspring to be able to breathe in the oxygen and stuff, and not really need like hydrogen and nitrogen that much. And these genetically engineered alien people were called the Anunnaki. And the Anunnaki pretty much had like absolute god powers, which they're godlike, and their pretty much whole goal and everything was just to like completely rule over the world, like some kind of new world order. So the Anunnaki created this other race called the Aloha, and these folks were pretty much created just to serve the Anunnaki and like keep them alive and stuff, give them food, just like servants for them. But then the Aloha started to rebel against the Anunnaki, and so the Anunnaki just started to like die out and stuff. But the Anunnaki, when you're like an absolute a race of gods, then you don't really want like your entire race to go extinct. So then then they genetically created this other folk. They like genetically changed their offspring again to make this race called the Astra Albus race. And just to remind you, like, this isn't like just folklore or like legends or stuff that they just thought of, they just cooked up. Like, these are literally what they know, that the Nomos came from the other planet and told them. Like, since the Astra Albus knew about how dangerous the Aloas were, they pretty much created this genetic, this virus that would get onto them, and it would make their skin really sensitive to like sunlight. So because of this, they had to like dig down into like and lived in this sort of subterranean world, maybe I don't know, Hollow Earth. And since that we're now able to genetically manipulate other life forms and beings like that, like stuff like that, what if this is just the next cycle, and then we're gonna create some other higher species than us and genetically manipulate our offspring? And because we're already talking about, you know, making designer babies and stuff like that. So yeah. So what if humanity is just a watered down descendant of higher alien gods and deities that once lived on this planet among us, and or we just still have the power of the Anunnaki and the higher beings above us, and we just haven't learned to tap into it yet. So with all that, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you didn't, leave a hate comment down below, and I'll probably see you in the next one. Bye, folks.